Hello, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Happy Christmas Eve, everybody. Listen, I had a viewer ask if I could bring messages for those who have passed on, family members, friends, or whatnot, and see if there were any messages meant for us. This is a very, very special time of year for me. My dad actually passed away on Christmas Day, one of my brothers on New Year's Eve, and so I have a whole plethora, and most of the deaths in my family had occurred in the dead of winter, either around now or later in January. And I feel this is such an impactful, heavy time for me. I'm only going to do one of these reads in the next couple of weeks because, the energy is really strong and I feel drained after I do something like this, but then I slowly feel invigorated and great. And I usually have like a cry, a very cleansing cry, because I do miss and love my family so much. My dad and my mother have passed on, my stepfather and my grandmother and one of my brothers. And that's part of the reason I'm able to do what I do with my aunt, and my mother and my uncle had just passed away, and I adored and loved him. He was amazing. But what happens is when we really tune into this immense energy that comes in, and we kind of have like a controlled focus on that, we become a conduit for some very amazing messages. Sometimes we hear it, sometimes we just feel it, sometimes we'll see it in a beautiful animal totem, something out in nature. I remember on my birthday morning, the first thing I saw when I went out in the kitchen was two crows, which is my totem animal, just cawing away like crazy right outside my window, and I knew right away it was my mother and father, and it was amazing. So they'll initiate all these little contacts, but remember too that it's perfectly wonderful at any time to ask them, say, how are you? Mom, aunt, whatever, anybody that's out there. And it was funny, as soon as I started reading, I heard lots of Marys, I heard lots of Thomases, I heard lots of Peters, I heard lots of Susans, I heard Edwards, a lot of names coming in, and people just, wanting to say hello. It's a very magical time of year, and it's also very sentimental, and so many things resonate with us, and memories, certain smells. I am at my mom's house, I am just at my Aunt Irene's house, all of these things, and they're very transportative scents and sounds, and music do that as well. Like music, I can't even be listening to Little Drummer Boy, I start crying all the time. There's something in that song that's amazing. But I feel like everything that's coming right now is going to alleviate pressure. It's going to educate us. It's going to inform us and help us have resolved issues, because lots of times people are just like, I'm not sure if I see things, or I think I'm hallucinating, or I think this is crazy, or it's just an everyday thing, or is it, it's a lot of people just think it's some weird coincidence, but that's what synchronicities kind of play out to be. So when you recognize it for what it is, again, these numbers that everybody's seeing, 111s, 555s, 777s, angel numbers, 1111s come up quite frequently. One particular animal, a ladybug, a moth, a deer, or something that shows up as well. So we have three cards to choose from. Number one is the Witch, the Earthly Weaver of Worlds. Then we have the Lamp, Remembrance. And then we have three, Eternal Love. Love is love, and it transcends physical death. It absolutely does. Oftentimes I'll just be sitting here, and I'm not kidding you, I'll be like, when I had my weird cold, I'm like, oh, how am I going to sustain myself throughout the day? And I'll literally feel like I need to go to sleep, and then I'll just start to hear stuff from my mother and be like, why don't you go read some of the comments, because you always love to connect with the viewers and see, how happy they are now, the growth they're making, the things they're finding out. Do that. All of a sudden I'm elevated, I feel great, and I'm ready to go. One of the other things that always makes me feel top notch is when I do a public read like this. As soon as I tap and I start dealing with my cards and stones and crystals, I feel immediately better. All my chi starts to flow, my chakras align, and all of that. So I'm hearing right now for everybody that whenever you feel like you are getting lower, you're kind of like trampling on yourself by going on that circuitry of doubt or fear. You ever know you have like a big social engagement, or a couple of days you have to do things, and you're like, oh, how am I going to carry through with this relative and that? How am I going to deal with them? The best result that I've ever found is I don't have to deal or engage with anybody. I will take every little thing as it comes. I am not going to fall into or engage in drama. I am not going to take anything personally. That's the biggest thing, because people sometimes in large groups, they just are crazy. They get nervous. They drink too much. They say ridiculous things. They can be insulting. They don't know what's going on. I always have empathy for that, because people that just start speaking like insane people are uncomfortable. They probably don't like large, social groups, so they overdrink or do whatever they do, and they say insensitive or stupid things. But if you have a healthy sense of detachment from that and see it for what it is, oh, they probably, they're probably run down, tired, exhausted, worried, all of that. And we have sympathy, compassion, and love for them. We don't then want to tangle in some kind of drama. We just don't. So we remove ourselves, elevated, and just act like you're actually a guardian angel, watching yourself and other people from the table or living room or where you are from above you, and pretend you're the observer and go, well, what would be the best way to respond to this? Always a deep breath and a pause. That's what I hear. And I definitely am hearing like this for all of these groups. Take a deep breath before you respond, because you don't want a knee-jerk reaction or want to lash back or any of that. That way you're protecting yourself and your energy, and you're just not dealing with anything that's petty or lame either. So let's start with the witch. I feel like if you chose this, I feel like, you are aware of some of the beautiful things that are already prevalent around you. Things where, you can stay primed to read all these beautiful synchronicities around you, that your efficiency in these matters are going to stay preserved, and you can actually increase them, ignite them, improve them, and maximize them any way you want through practice. That's what I do. I call it the finite eye. When I go outside, I look at every detail I can possibly see, down from, any flower blooming in the snow to ladybugs to any living thing or sound out there. And all of a sudden I feel completely tapped into kind of like that vortex. And I feel like you're going to be able to see what's going on. So let's see what some of the messages are. I'm going to pull 3 of these, and I'm going to pull the Akashic records, because these are wonderful for this. So group 1, these are some of your messages. We got 3. So right away, I was feeling that too. This is for some of you guys, this is a mother and or a grandmother as well, letting you know that Archangel Michael is always constantly around you and protecting you. He is also the angel, I feel like, of mercy and safety. I often invoke him when I'm in my car to ask for safety. So a lot of times, if you feel like you've had some close calls and you instinctually stopped or didn't get in your car or get on that plane or go on that trip or enter that building, you are actually saving yourself from contractual illnesses where people may have the flu, a potential accident, you exhausting yourself, you being amongst heartful energies, that you are tapped into that, and you're able to kind of tap into those silver connective threads that let you know this is not a good environment or this is a good environment. So really listen to your intuition, because that's what's helping you. And you do have beautiful angelic help all around you all the time, supporting you. And he does help deflect a lot of the negativity too, because I feel like you're feeling more and more positive, and your relative wants you to know that's because you are tapped in on this beautiful sphere, and they're enabling you to facilitate better behaviors, responses, and integrate it in your life, so you don't feel frazzled or pulled in many directions. Because oftentimes I feel like some of you are empaths, so you feel a lot of energy, other people's energy, their impulsiveness, their their fear, their anxiety, or whatever, and sometimes it's a little much for you, and you feel like you have to kind of retreat a little bit and regain yourself, and always do that and listen to that. But you also have angels that help you kind of deflect that energy from you. Now, I love the light of the world, because this is saying that you're really, with the age of Aquarius, they definitely want you to know that you're elevating with higher awareness, and you're going to have some major spiritual upgrades. And the reason that certain people are chosen for this is because of an awake and aware factor of what's going on. They're trying to further our education. They're trying to expedite healing of the planet and each other and the human condition, because we really can go one or two ways, right? Up or down. And they want you to know that you're part of this strategic kind of warrior force that is meant to help other people as well as yourself and the universe, and protect animals and all of that. And they educate us in a very special way. And usually they bring us to certain tarot readers, to certain beautiful, excited, spiritual leaders and teachers and people that provide us with the words atmosphere to thrive and grow and learn more, right? I mean, because it's all in the attitude, perspective, and behavior, right? You ever just go in a room and somebody's just so mellow and cool and chill and nice and understanding and easygoing, and part of that is that they're receiving this information, the light of the world. It's healing And again, this helps improve everything. It influences, it merges us, it renovates different areas of our psyche, it transforms us, and it definitely upgrades us to a greater understanding that our potential is nowhere even tapped right now. So they want you to know that you're going to have a lot of strange occurrences and synchronicities that are going to make you go, wait. I mean, I have this all the time. I don't even say half the stuff I see, feel, and experience because I can almost hear now my animals' thoughts. It's very weird. Like, I just know if Winter and if they are sitting there and they're looking at me, I'll know they want something, and I know what it is, and I'll go out there. Lo and behold, the back dishes will be empty, that even though they shouldn't be, or something like that. It's one of those things where I slow it down and I really listen, because everything is an exchange of energy, and it doesn't have to be human language that it's transported through, and you're going to start to understand that. And it is a little odd, but it is pretty spectacular as well. So pass unknown. They also want you to know, they want you to travel and experience things that are out of your comfort zone, because that's where the magic happens. That's where you go, I knew I had this power within me. I knew I had this magic. I knew I had the bravery, because once you prove to yourself you're courageous once, it stays with you, and you always go back and you have that to gravitate towards, to know that you can generate it again. You can maximize that. You can outpace those old understandings and move on to some really great understandings on a pretty epic level. It's one of those things where you're constantly motivated to orchestrate your life in a beautiful way. Like, yes, I want an adventure. Yes, I'm saying yes to that. I am going to go seek, find, and really live my life. And they're saying, never be afraid, because, I feel like lions, lions are important to you too. They're saying something about lions. You have that lion heart energy. The Magician. I feel like you're also a natural intuitive, for sure. They know that. They're saying stand your ground. The seven card can be about self-protection. And this is saying just stand your ground. Do not give in it to anybody. Don't give your energy or power away, because you're right. You're right the majority of the time. But because I feel like you don't like a lot of confrontation, you give in to other people. But what happens then is that you start to get all these weird obligation towards them, because you don't want conflict or whatever. So you just kind of give in. Don't do that anymore. If you don't want to say yes, don't say yes. I'm not, picking up that or watching your kids or doing that just because it's something I've always done. Take time to yourself, because they want you with this is crazy. You're going to start hearing crystalline stuff. The Hierophant and the Magician together is insane. This is like saying that, you're like a pure conduit of understanding very soon. 2020 is going to bring this in for you. Again, the Age of Aquarius lets all that ego and garbage fall away, so pure spirit is just tapped into all these messages in a really epic way. You have the keys. The Hierophant always has the keys to open the doors and the avenues they need to travel down to get all the answers they're seeking, and they're going to come to you. Just pay attention and be in the present. I'm hearing that very, very strongly. Be present, because I feel like a lot of you like to multitask, and you get excited about things. You may start a lot of projects and not finish them, but do it beautifully. I just did this myself. I sat down at the table and I said, I'm going to make these presents be wrapped as most beautifully as I can, because normally I just whip them together at midnight the day before. I said I'm doing them and package them as beautifully as I can, taking my time. And I was really enjoying it, because I wasn't thinking about anything else except for that. And that's where the magic's going to happen. You're going to be able to know what people are going to say before they say it, do before they do it, what they're feeling. So simplify your life as much as you can, because right now, because you have all this, people are going to want to be advised by you. You're going to be conveying beautiful messages. You're going to be very convincing in any argument that you're having. So if you want anything, now is the time. I feel like you're going to be promoted. A lot of you guys are going to be publicized, published, and you're mapping out a future. Some of you guys definitely in the public eye. I'm definitely hearing that there's something about you where you're at this high success stage. So they're saying, get ready for it. You can do it. And again, something really big about lions, and also something about a puppy. I keep hearing something about a puppy, like some silly puppy you had, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I just see it's like a little golden retriever, and some of them are just funny little dogs, and just saying, your dog is there with them. I guess maybe it was your childhood dog or something. It's very sweet. So anyway, you guys, you are tapped in, tuned in, and ready to elevate. Very beautiful energy. I love that for you. So now we're going to move on to number 2, which is the lamp and remembrance. I'm definitely hearing something about, remember the beach, remember the trips to the beach. This, there's a particular person coming through very, very strongly. Again, it's funny, I'm seeing male and female. It might be a father and mother or a grandmother and grandfather, depending. But I feel like they took you to the beach and you really remember it and you loved it. And big body of water. I'm hearing the sand and seeing that. And always go there when you need a place of calm. It's one of those things where you feel like you can have a calm, quiet place. And, it'll make you be able to... this always works for me too, because I was brought up on water. It will help you to slow your racing mind when everything gets a little too fast. But I'm going to start with the Akashic records, because these are wonderful to connect with these. So some of your big messages right now. Oh, okay. So they're saying too, the intricacies of industry are you're going to be able to advance and do really well in your career if you are educating yourselves continually on all that. It's not saying you always have to get to some expert level, but roll with the changes, be flexible. If you can take an extra course, computer course or something, class to do that, definitely do that, because then you'll feel more solid. You'll feel like, you're improved, you're maximizing your potential. And again, you're going to have this beautiful kind of primed energy to always say yes to the next thing, because you realize, hey, if I did this, it's all about little wins too. They're saying, when you have a success, and their generation was a little different, everybody did work hard. They didn't have all the kind of social media and all of that. So it was kind of just like localized folklore of who someone was like, or their local press, how well they worked and all of that. So people were really into integrity and doing a good job, and they're proud of you for what you're doing and how hard you're trying. And they see, success is right there. But again, you definitely just don't get pre-programmed by other people's garbage or try to follow anybody else, because you have your own unique style, and that's what's really going to propel you into success for sure. Now, the king of forces of this, I love this. I feel like, you are slowly but surely, hearing messages, you're seeing synchronicities, and what happens is the forces is all about spirit and energy and the connectivity and being a conduit to be able to upload this information. But we really can only do that when we slow down and we're present or in a meditative state. If we're racing through life, ego driven, trying to acquire, prove things, seem a certain way, it's very hard to do that. We're rarely a conduit for beautiful messages when we're just trying to prove ourselves. We are not real estate. We're not out there trying to sell ourselves. We already are completely desirable, valuable, and worth everything. And they want you to know you definitely are. And always place yourself back on that beach in the simpler times. And a porch. I also am hearing, remember when we used to sit on the porch, I guess you had rocking chairs or something out there too. The simplified life. Again, just bringing everything back down and revising what's important, because once we do that, I had to do that too. I mean, I used to always think more was more everything. It was weird. As soon as I'd wake up and it was a weekend, I'm like, I have to jam everything in this day. I have to go shopping. I have to do this and that. And I would be so tired and not feel like I accomplished everything, because it was literally a race and it made no sense. So they're saying, just slow down and focus and only do what you want, and make sure you're pulling things into your life that make you feel good. Implement things that help you grow and feel good. Redesign anything that is, getting dusty, or you feel like it's just a habit that you no longer need. And Archangel Raphael is all around you, protecting. The last group had Michael, that he's a very strong archangel in your life, and always call upon him if you ever feel uncertain or you feel doubt or you feel fear, that he's there with you and you can feel him. I do this with Archangel Michael when I'm in my vehicles and all around doing things. I always ask for help and appeal for a sense of balance and calm, because with fear comes erratic behavior. We all know this, right? A lot of people can be jealousy, insecurity, all of that. It brings a whole freaking turpitude of crap. So we don't want to invite that in. So when we ask our angels, help us, just clear my mind and let me think clearly, because then we're aware, we're completely in the present. We can read every synchronicity sign and think like a beautiful blueprint and move on to what we need to do, and, feel secure and say it out loud. Say, Archangel Raphael, please come help me. I want to feel secure and balanced. Again, that really beautiful energy. This is insane. I can't even tell you, the Magician just came up and I shuffled and shuffled and it came up for the first one too. Again, I feel like people that are watching this right now with the Chariot, with the Page of Pentacles, you have money coming, you have magic and understanding of how to manifest and bring things into your life. A great success is coming your way. I'm definitely hearing this from a male figure in your family. I feel like it's a father or grandfather. They've always believed in your ability to see the beauty in things and see the positivity, and they always just thought they're a beautiful little bambino and perfect little wonderful creator, because you had this vitality, this hope, this sparkle in your eye and this sweet thing, and it's like just something they know. They're so proud of you, and they know that there is like magic within your ethereal field and who you are. And I feel like people were always drawn to you and smiled when you were a child, and you were very warm and welcoming. And this is something's going to move very fast for you, some success in terms of money, because Page of Pentacles is a message of money. So they want you to know that if you want to open your own business or do a side hustle or do something that you absolutely love, that now is the time, because you have all the resources, the magic to do this, because this is a huge improvement cycle. Like everything is rehabilitated, rejuvenated, revitalized. It's strengthened, streamlined. It is being influenced in a major way in 2020 for everything to go with you, because what happens is you're gaining momentum for wins, and what happens, you have won. And it's funny, it's like a domino. It really is. Once you have that energy and that focus and you're galvanized towards that, it's like win after win after win. And because you're so beautifully directed and focused on this and aware, that you're making really big things happen and huge strides in your life, and they want you to know that all you have to do is consistently remember to have that gratitude that's so important, that brings more wins, right? If you ever see those people that are just not satisfied with anything, they seem so bored, dull, and gray. They have no aura. They're like just I don't know, like seaweed. I can't even explain it, and it's sad. But the thing is, that is a mental cycle, and oftentimes because we are our thoughts, we have to think good things and be thankful and be happy, because we can pull ourselves out of anything and anywhere. I'll give you an example. This Christmas Eve, it's Christmas Eve right now. I'm so excited. I'm working. We're wrapping presents, doing all this stuff. I felt really, really compelled to make this video. But years ago, I think it was like a couple years after my father had died, I remember just laying in my daughter's room. My neighbor was playing games with him outside, and I didn't move for like 6 hours. I just lay there and I cried, and I literally felt like a lead weight, because my whole focus was on how much I missed my father and how much I missed my family. And I let it like comatose me, and I remember feeling so heavy that it was the worst feeling. And then all of a sudden, I just kept hearing over and over, it's only as bad as you let it be. It's only as bad as you think it is. So how about these little toddlers that are so excited for Christmas, that are going to come back in a little while? Wouldn't they like to see a bright, shining face? And all of a sudden, I felt like this huge weight was lifted. I felt really good. So again, we do have to ask our angels and our ancestors to help us with that. And anytime you ask them, they're going to be available, and you'll feel them. You definitely will. I hear my mother's laugh like all the time. I see my aunt, like she had a great little laugh, and she loved children. So when I see kids really smiling, I always see my aunt. And I'm continually hearing things from them, and they are going to guide you, and they're with you, and they're so proud of you, and they love you, and they see you. They are all around. People's never ever, the energy always stays alive. The way they're able to observe us is amazing. And and when we invite them in and we speak to them, they hear it. So it's really remarkable. So you have that magic to be able to do that as well. So beautiful group too. Yeah, I felt like the male component definitely coming through very strongly. I was hearing a lot of Edwards, Peters, Mark, Christopher's, a lot of that. Michael's. Again, yeah, you have some wonderful financial situation that's going to be greatly improved. So love that for you. So remembrance too. Remember, light a candle for them and say hello. Beautiful. Again, if you guys have any questions, all my links are down below if you need a private read. Thank you for liking and subscribing, everybody. If you haven't, please do. I really appreciate it. It helps my channel chug along. I'm almost at 40,000, which is crazy. So beautiful energy. Now we're on to number 3, which is eternal love. Now I love this because love is love is love. It's true, right? It transcends physical death, and it always has. And I can feel it, and you're able to feel it simply by asking for it. Simply by knowing of the fact that it does exist, and sometimes it's just spearheaded by I miss you, Mom. I miss you, Grandma. I miss you, whomever. So I'm going to pull some cards and then see sort of who's out there. I mean, oftentimes grandmothers come through the strongest, because right now I'm already hearing something about a food and a recipe, and it's a grandmother's recipe, something that was made for the holidays. And yeah, oh nice, Uriel and the Sphinx, the King of Keys. So you're going to have some major doors opening for you in an epic way. Excellent. And the Queen of Keys, ooh, you have a soulmate coming in very soon. And, again, this is a grandmother, I feel. And also, I feel like there's an aunt, and funnily enough, a brother. There is a brother that passed away for some of you guys, and they want you to know that your soulmate is coming in, your exact match, your soul, some of you guys, your twin. And part of this is because you're elevating in so many ways right now. Everything is improving in your life, and everything is increasing. Troubles are lifted. Potential is maximized. I feel like it's your allegiance. It's kind of like I see like a group of angels. They're all rallied around you to generate this huge gift and to elevate you and enhance your life. Because once you're kind of, your energy is lifted and your vibration is going up, what happens is that pulls in our twin, it pulls in our soulmate, it pulls in our love, because there's no damage. There's no doubt, there's no lack, there's no fear, there's no things that after all this effort that we're going to sabotage ourselves, because we know we are worthy and we know we're loved. And they're all saying you definitely are. And it's really beautiful. Uriel and the Sphinx too, that go back. There's ancient knowledge within you. And I also feel like Archangel Uriel is consistently around you. When you go back and you really think, you can feel you've been here more than once. You feel compelled to study certain historic areas, right? Whether it is ancient Rome, it doesn't matter, ancient Egypt, whatever it is, France. A lot of people are really into Versailles, and I definitely believe there's something about the gardens there that really speak to me. That we have existed before, and nobody really does truly jive. Their energy is consistently around us all the time. And I've known this since I've been really little. Like, I was always that one strange kind of character at a funeral where I didn't feel sad or feel like I needed to cry, because I knew those people were there, and it was very kind of odd. But I didn't have to go to a lot of funerals. Like, a lot of people in my family, I don't know if I just blanked out, or it didn't feel like this heavy thing that people remember. To me, it just felt like another event that we were celebrating their life, and I knew they were there. So you're going to start to get that feeling, those synchronicities, and feel them there. Especially the one, I definitely feel a brother coming through saying they're so proud of you, and the way that how you're maturing and who you're becoming is so beautiful and wonderful, and they always knew that you would be that way. And I feel that some of these people, there's an aunt and some grandmothers, and some people had cancer, some breast cancer, and some other things, and dementia, and some other things, that they still could feel you energetically, even though they couldn't express it in the later days of illness. And they want to thank you for being there and being present. And they are extraordinarily proud of the individual you've become. And they wish they expressed it more when they were with you, because you really are phenomenal. And you're going to inspire people around you. They feel that. That's something that's coming, because you're cultivating this kind of wonderful light working ability where you lift other people, perhaps by trying or not even trying, but there's something in your elevated state, energy, and vibration that is very healing and very wonderful to people. It's like you're very qualified for this on a natural level. You don't need to go to school or get certified. It's just something that is within your natural field. So this card just flew out. This is crazy. The last group got this too. Two groups got the Magician. Your dreams are coming way faster than you can imagine. Again, this soulmate is coming fast. Right after 2020, you're going to have very, very happy, amazing. Oh, this is cool. You're going to have very happy, amazing friendships, companionships, and tribal people, because you've let go completely and let all the dead wood fall away. After this 2020, you're going to say, oh, that person is snarky, low energy, low vibrational. Goodbye. this job doesn't work for me because I'm not appreciated and held in the esteem I should be. Goodbye, job. Everything, you are putting to death, bed, or saying goodbye to things that don't serve you, because your energetic level and vibration is getting so high that you can see things like they're literally under like a microscope, like, oh, whoa, how did I not see that before? But now you have like laser focus on what you want. So you have to discard things you don't want and don't work for you, and people that kind of derail you and pull you in the wrong direction. And they are saying, listen to your intuition because it's right. It is time. You have this amazing love, this soulmate coming in. You're moving towards it so quick. This is like with under 4 to 6 months for some of you guys. You're pulling in your true tribes, because what happens when we discard and create a void by discarding all the garbage and things we don't need, we're charting a new, clearer green grass. We've paved the way, we planted the seeds. Now all this beauty is starting to grow because we're developing a focus on, okay, only what we want, right? We are not spending half our day trying to please, do, or find things for people that don't deserve it. It is our time, and you're going to facilitate this in a huge way very quickly, and it's going to be really just delivered to your door. And you feel that elevated sense of self. You feel that pride. You feel that winning cycle coming. You feel that love. You feel that, that attraction, that enhanced love light. And because of that, you're very magnetic, and people want to be around you anyway on a pretty epic scale. But the lovely part is, you're going to be able to consult with them and, be like ancestors. I'm and archangels and everybody. I need to slow down and focus and think when, you feel like the wheels are going off the cart. And you're going to be able to do that by being just hyper aware of what's happening right then, to read all those synchronicities and bring in this love and joy. And you do have like amazing social success and great rich friendships along with this soulmate that are coming. And they just want you to know they are proud of you, they love you, you are amazing. Work on that menu or something, cook something, it's some family recipe they're very excited about. Maybe some kind of dessert or something, but it's very cute. But they're there with you, and it's like I feel all my relatives whenever I want to, and we can tap into that energy and then just allow those exchanges. And they're very beautiful, and it's such a lovely understanding to know that anybody who's ever passed on can always immediately be with us by us just recalling their memory and inviting them in. And you're gonna be able to feel them. Probably certain smells are going to trigger that. And you're orchestrating a beautiful life, and they're really proud of you. So I'm very excited for your group 3. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. And have a very, very Merry Christmas, you guys. Love and light.